Why do we feel annoyed when someone reminds us of something we were just about to do? You were just about to pick up the broom to sweep when your mother saw you. She said, "Get up and clean your room. How can you live like this? It looks like a pigsty." And suddenly, all you want to do is throw the broom away and not do it anymore. It's not just you, almost all of us feel this way. It's called psychological reactance, a psychological phenomenon named by psychologist Jack Brame in 1966. Humans always have a strong belief that they possess the freedom to decide their own actions. When they feel their freedom to act as they wish is threatened, whether that threat comes from rules, demands, suggestions, or simply a nagging reminder from someone's psychological reactance occurs. They feel frustrated, annoyed, even angry. When you're told you can't have or can't do something, what happens next is that you want it even more. You resist by asserting your freedom. You feel angry towards the person restricting your freedom. Many psychologists studying reactance believe this is more of an emotional phenomenon than a rational thought process. Nevertheless, it significantly influences human behavior. Simply put, if you dislike someone, you're more likely to do the opposite of what they say, just out of spite. Understanding this psychology, many people have exploited this very motive of reactance to create a psychological technique called reversepsychology, or paradoxical intervention. You can see this effect in many areas of life, from simple warning signs like, "Do not click here," to that advertising campaign for the soft drink Dr. Pepper, which proclaimed, "It's not for women." These are simply psychological tricks to make people do or want what you desire, by subtly suggesting or convincing them to do the exact opposite. When people feel pressured to perform a certain action, they tend to do the opposite to assert their freedom and autonomy. Exploiting this, by suggesting the opposite of what you want, that person will believe they are in control of their own actions. They do it because they want to, not because you suggested it. But in reality, you are manipulating their actions and thoughts to make them do what you desire. Children are often the most susceptible to this effect. According to social psychology and studies on human nature, when children are told not to play with a specific toy, they find that toy much more appealing. Some parents have exploited this reverse psychology to try and mold their children's behavior. For example, to encourage children to do chores, they might use a challenge. Sweeping. Oh, only truly strong adults can do that. And then the children eagerly stand up and sweep, wanting to prove they have the strength of adults. However, this practice is generally not encouraged for several reasons. It can easily backfire, with children complying rather than resisting as originally intended. Furthermore, it can lead to negative consequences. Firstly, it can impact a child's self-perception and self-esteem, as parents deliberately belittle their children's abilities and worth to provoke them. Secondly, it encourages disobedience, as children realize they aren't punished for defying their parents' requests. Thirdly, it makes children perceive their parents as deceitful and manipulative. All manipulation requires moderation and should not leave negative consequences or harm the person being manipulated, because, ultimately, it is a cunning and dishonest act. Many psychologists have expressed disapproval of this method because it affects others through deceit, and its very nature is cunning. By understanding the nature of this behavior, you will gain a more multifaceted perspective on advertising tactics and prevent yourself from being manipulated by anyone.